What's up, guys? My name is Mikko Hytönen, and this is Jokes and More Podcast, baby! A show where we talk about jiu-jitsu, life, and everything in between. We are capturing the magic moment after a hard jiu-jitsu training. If you don't roll, you don't know. Today I'm joined by a Taekwondo black belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and a CEO, and much more, Andrew Forson.
Hey.
What's up, man? Nice to see you. Finally, we're here.
Yeah, it's, look, for those of you who don't know, Mikko's an inspiration to all of us in the jiu-jitsu community, probably the global community now, with his instructionals, his teaching. I just finished his class, gave me a lot of pointers on refining my technique. And this is our home gym here, Scramble Academy, Santori Lilius in southern Spain.
Thanks for the kind words, man. We have been training together quite a long time. I think I was a blue belt when we started to train together.
I don't know. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Many injuries, many cycles. It's been good.
It's good to have you back. You're always in a good mood, and I love your precision in jiu-jitsu also. You're a very analytic guy.
Yeah, well, that's because I don't have the physical ability to sort of just use athleticism.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu's home. Like, it's, you know the drill. Like, you can have a lot of pressures in life, and when you hit the mats, no matter what aches, your training partners are your family, and then everything becomes very uncomplicated.
That's true. And always like, have you ever felt like after a training, like, today was not a good day? Like, even though if you get submitted, you do good or not, you always feel like happy when you have trained.
It's like a form of therapy.
Yeah.
I sometimes I come and I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Especially if you haven't trained in a while, you show up, they're big guys, they're young guys, and I'm like,
it's required for me only if I don't train 1 week or something like, did I lose my skills? It's nerve-wracking.
Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't been on the mats really in months. Actually, for the last maybe 2.5, almost 3 years, I haven't trained regularly. But every single time I show up, you get your ass kicked, it doesn't matter, you leave happy.
Yep.
And these are my friends and family. I mean, I was here after training last night, just talking to Santori. We were here in this gym maybe an hour and a half after the class, just totally talking bullshit.
I love it. I love it. And you know, after the battle, it's just talking, and it's always great to come back. Like, I didn't know that you are coming back, and I saw you first time on Tuesday, and just it's just like a happy reunion always.
The sport is it's, for me, it's a way of life, and I really hope I will be able to do it to the end of my years. I think, as you know, the struggle now is to ensure you can continue to train without having a major injury that takes you out of the game.
That's the priority at the moment.
And I like it because, as you mentioned, I've also trained Taekwondo, which I love with all my heart, but it's vastly different somebody kicking you in the head. You can't, I'm afraid to get hit in the head. I don't want a massive concussion now. That would impact my work and other things. But with jiu-jitsu, I mean, last night I was rolling with Bisho, like 130 kilos, and I live to tell. I'm still here today. So, I love this sport. I love this gym. I mean, I've been friends with you for years. I admire you, love hanging out with you, super impressed with your platform. Nothing but positive things.
Thanks, brother. So let's dive in. What is your first memories of martial arts? Like, how did it all start? What was the first thing? Was it a Taekwondo? But how it all started? What's your first memory? Like, when you were a kid, you were watching Bruce Lee. Tell me, how it started the martial arts journey.
Actually, my dad was a lover of Muhammad Ali and boxing.
Okay.
And when I was super young, they used to have like ABC Wide World of Sports, and they'd show like boxing, like major matches. Like at the time, obviously, Muhammad Ali was either retiring or I was probably too young to be aware, but there'd be Leon Spinks and whatnot. So my dad and he'd always sort of teach me boxing. I was never any good. I think as a child and a teenager, he boxed, but certainly not anything professional. But then as you grow up, I was put in judo as a really young kid. I got my ass beat in that, like, I think I was like 6 or 7 at the YMCA just for self-defense. And then as I grew up and I was a teenager, I started practicing Taekwondo, and it was just always, it wasn't even to be good at violence. It was sort of just to understand how to defend yourself and understand how you can sort of make the human body a weapon. And I think what really happened was then I saw videotapes of the first UFC with Royce Gracie. I know it's cliche.
Yeah.
But with all the taekwondos and stuff, at the end of the day, if somebody would hit you, it would really hurt. Like, there's no secret weapon to stopping somebody who was, like, you take a guy like Diogo punches me, I'll die. Like, like a Mike Tyson hits me, I'm dead. But Royce Gracie, you have this nerdy looking skinny guy. Yeah. Absolutely, like, making...
Yeah, and no weight class, there's massive guys.
Like that's like a dream. That's like a Marvel movie, right?
Yeah.
And so at the time that was going on, I was in school, couldn't really do anything about it. But then in the early 2000s, I started watching a lot of the old Pride videos. And I was living on an island, and then I guess I had too much free time. I'd obsess over these things. Yeah. And just sort of found a small group to see could we grapple. And there's no instructor or anything. You just do everything wrong. And then I moved to an island called St. Bart's, and there they had a judo club, and they started like a jiu-jitsu club. And so I went. And you know, when you start jiu-jitsu, you treat it like a fight. Like, you muscle through everything.
Yeah, of course. You go 100% all the time.
100%. And I got my ass beat. But it was the best ass kicking I've ever gotten, because it was like with technique. It was like more like judo, randori, like newaza. But we didn't have a black belt or anything, but I was like, this is amazing.
You're hooked immediately.
That was it.
What year we are talking?
That would have been around 2012.
2012.
And then the first black belt that came to town, get this. So this was on the island of St. Bart's, was Christian Grogard.
BJJ Globetrotters.
BJJ Globetrotters.
That's the connection. Actually, I was about to ask this, because I know that you know the guy. I don't know why.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He came to St. Bart's, and he gave a camp and taught real technique. And honestly, if there was ever an addiction in life, that was it. And I think you know the drill.
Yeah.
You want to watch every YouTube.
Yep.
You want to watch every instructional. You want to go to every camp.
Yep.
And particularly as a white belt, you just want all the information. And the funny thing is, the more you learn, it's almost like the less good you are. Because
it's overwhelming. It's like there is so much stuff. But you think, especially in the beginning, that like the more I study, the more I do, the better I come faster.
Well, I'd always think I'd find this one secret technique. Yeah. That, like, it's like the one ring that rules them all. It's like I'll find this one submission that rules them all. And for a while, like, I was like, when I learned the Ezekiel choke, because I used to do the Ezekiel choke from like bottom mount. Like, I'd be mounted. And I'd like, and sometimes you catch people.
You catch it.
But I mean, nobody good. But I was hooked. And so Christian came to St. Bart's once or twice, and then he eventually moved there. But by the time he moved there, I had moved to southern Spain and met Santry at Roger Gracie Academy. And I think that summer, I arrived in southern Spain like in April of like 2014. And then they had a Roger Gracie camp in September of that year. And that's when Santry came, I think, to Spain. And I remember at that time, I actually rolled with Roger.
You remember that round?
Mikko was horrible. I've tapped to everything, but I remember I've never felt such pressure. And he was sitting on me in mount, I couldn't breathe. And so I remember saying, tap, like I tapped.
Yeah.
But the fear, because he said, no, you can't tap to pressure. And then I was like, well, like that's what you rule.
Yeah.
You learn, right? The one rule is if you're having a hard time, you tap. I didn't know what to do. So I remember with all my might, like I bridged to turn and extended my arm.
So he stood up so I can tap.
Yeah, he did an arm bar, and I was like, tap, that's the arm. But at that camp, to me, it was the most amazing thing, because that's where I learned that like every technique had a solution, and they're just so good. Like you saw people, and it was just so good. And from there, you can't go back.
Yeah.
Had my first competition of November that year. It was like the first, I think, Madrid Open, IBJJF. And I had one match as white belt. I had no idea what was going to happen. I went with my daughter. She went with the big teddy bear in the back of the car, Zara.
Yeah.
And I didn't speak the language. There's a lot of shouting. And I had my one match. The guy ran at me and jumped close guard. I'm not sure you're allowed to do that now.
I don't think you can. But anyway, he did it.
He did it. I sort of fell, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And he was sort of trying to pull for a cross choke.
Yeah.
And I actually, somehow I passed his guard, but it wasn't a pass. I think I sort of fell out of his guard into mount, and then I hit the Ezekiel.
Oh.
And he flipped me, and I didn't know what to do, so I just held on to the Ezekiel, and he tapped. And I was like, what? And, you know, because I think we were the only people in our category at the time, I really don't know what happened, but I got a gold medal because of that. Then the addiction was like multiplied.
Yeah.
I was like, you know?
Come on.
But yeah, and that's the story. And it's hard to explain the addiction, but it's literally an addiction. You love this sport.
Let's talk about a little bit of competition where we started now. So that was the first competition. Did you start to regularly compete after that? Because you have been in Euros, you have been, competing quite a lot. Yeah. Was it immediately after that, or that was the, the spark, or how did it happen?
I think because I was living on an island before where there was like nothing.
Yeah.
And I actually think I'm a bit of a competitive person, and on the island, I remember Christian came and he graduated a bunch of people to blue belt. In hindsight, I didn't deserve it, but I remember there, I was like, oh, crap. Well, you know the drill. You're like, I could beat that guy. I should be.
Why he gets a blue belt? Because I won him last Friday. I submitted this guy.
I tapped him before. So when I got to Spain and they had Roger Gracie in competitions, I was like, I was like a fire hose. Yeah. I'd been presented with a fire hose of jiu-jitsu knowledge. I'm like, I am going to learn everything and get so good. So I competed a lot. And I trained a lot, sometimes like twice a day. Then I started sort of doing weights, everything, trying to stretch, be flexible. And at that time, I was also competing in Taekwondo and training there. And I actually think it helped, just in terms of like speed and balance. But yeah, so I started to compete a lot in the IBJJF, and I did my first Europeans, I think, in January 2015. And I competed lightweight in the gi, and that was my second tournament, and I think there were 5 rounds. Again, you don't really know what's happening. They graduated me to blue belt right after I won at Madrid. So I finally got, this goal of blue belt. But then I was upset because in my mind I was like, you made me a blue belt. Now I'm going to a competition as a new blue belt. I'll be the worst one there. Yeah. But I went to this competition and I was so nervous but so happy. And I won. I got through the 5 rounds. I used the Ezekiel on a number of occasions, but I won. And it was the first time I'd won a gold medal at the Europeans. And I didn't really realize the significance of it. But I was so happy, my family was there and everything. And then you sort of get hooked because you either want to defend championships or you want to prove that it wasn't a fluke.
Yep.
So you just keep training, right? And you keep getting hurt. You train, you get hurt, you compete. And yeah, back then, actually Santry and I would go to competitions a lot.
I remember you guys traveled quite a lot together.
We went to so many fucking competitions together. And, we'd get in trouble, we'd get hurt, but yeah, we competed a lot. Gi, no gi. That particular year, I won the gi in Euros, I won the gold in the no gi Europeans, and then I won the first Spanish National Open in Madrid in the June. And yeah, just I discovered the straight ankle lock, and as a blue belt, I was sort of cocky. Sometimes I'd be like, "Hey, you have a match going on? Hold on, I'll be right back." I would tap somebody and they'd be like, "Wait, what happened?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, foot lock." Because back then, people weren't as familiar with it.
Yeah,
that would never happen now.
No,
everybody is like, "Yeah, I'll fuck you in your foot lock." But, yeah, it was just a lot of training, a lot of competing. And I actually continued to compete a lot all the way up through COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I won a European title at every belt level except black belt. I have not competed yet at black belt. So I did, I got a gold and a silver at blue belt, did 2 years. Then I got a gold at purple. And then at brown belt, it was the first time in my life, and that wasn't too long ago. I think it was 2022 or something. It was one of the COVID competitions, right when it had reopened. It's the first time I got gold in my weight class at brown belt, but I'd always missed out on winning a medal in absolute. Oh. And I finally, after a number of rounds, and I was so injured, I got a bronze medal in the brown belt absolute, but I had I still have the scar on the top of my foot. I had a big chunk of skin missing from mat burn. I had a torn supraspinatus. So the week before the Euros, actually right there, Santry was getting mad at me because he was teaching fireman's carry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I got a week. I couldn't lift my shoulder, but the drill. I couldn't lift my shoulder above my head.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you have to do it." I'm like, "I can't do it. Can we do this after the tournament?" He's like, "Nah, man, you really got to do it." So I was near tears, and I was like, "Man," and he's like, "Look, you got to be able to do these things." I couldn't lift it. So that tournament, I had a lot of pressure because Santry.
Yeah.
I was I'd been a brown belt for 3 or 4 years, and I was like, I'd never been graduated unless I'd won the Euros. So it was sort of I just assumed I have to win if I want to get to the next level. And that tournament, in my weight class, it went well. Then I was like, I want an absolute. And that one was tough because the people were bigger.
Yeah.
But I managed to get the 3 victories to get me to the bronze belt, bronze medal match. I was never tapped out. I don't think I was taken down the entire match. I had maybe 5 or 7 matches, I think, in the total tournament. And honestly, I was happy. Even though I didn't get gold for the absolute, I was happy. But I got gold in the middleweight. I was very happy.
That's
and
great.
After that, I was like, okay, I'm good. But I have to do something in black.
Do you miss competitions, jiu-jitsu
I
competitions?
miss it dearly. I miss it. You know the drill. I've had neck injuries.
Yeah.
I've had lower back injuries. I had the shoulder. And then I had work that took me into Switzerland. And I love this gym so much. It's very hard to go to a new gym. Here, I know the people. I feel safe.
Yep.
When you go to a new gym, you've got a target on your back.
Yep.
And I've done that several times. I went to my hometown in Canada on Christmas. They're lovely people. So if they see this, they'll get upset. But it was no-gi as well over the Christmas holidays. Everybody had been eating and stuff.
Yeah.
I had been out of shape. I had to fight 18 people. like in a row. In nogi, where like you can sort of stall a bit in the gi. But in nogi,
so dynamic, a lot of movement, a lot of.
And it's open season on all techniques, and now everybody is doing like pretty aggressive leg locks. Like I don't want to be heel hooked if you don't have the right responses. Luckily, our gym here, I think we have excellent leg lock game, so I'm never out of it. But yeah, like you go to a new gym, and you know there's some big hulking young guy, and they're like, "I'm next." You can't say no.
Yeah.
So I like the home gym. So when I went to Switzerland, there is a gym near where I live there. I do have to train, but it's just with work, I had to turn the focus to making sure I did the right things. I was running a venture capital fund near Zurich, and now I work in I'm the president of a NASDAQ-listed company that focuses on like creating investment products out of cryptocurrencies and listing them. It's like an asset manager.
Yeah.
It's very intense work. And when I join, it's like jiu-jitsu, you get competitive. You want the company to win, but you have to give the company 1,000% of your attention to try and get your product vision in, to try and position, to try and learn. But I think now I've gotten to the point where I understand how things work, so I'm going to be training a little more. I have to compete again.
Do you love your job? Do you like your job? Is it challenging? It must be challenging because I see you're in the platforms, you're talking to United Nations and everything. Like is it?
It is challenging. I have been blessed. And I think you of all people will understand this. When you do something you love, it's not work.
Yeah.
And I see the passion and energy you put into your work. The work I do, I love. I have, since I was a child, been a computer programmer and have been obsessed with financial markets. And that is what I get to do every day. I get to make programs that are tied to finance.
Yeah.
And obviously, I have not been able, I recently started coding again, which is fun for me. I actually find coding very much like jiu-jitsu. It's a logical sequence with less pain. But I think the work is fascinating. I love it. There's never a day, including weekends, that I do not do the work because it's just so fun. The key is you also have to remember that you have to tell people, like, we have shareholders for the company, and the shareholders don't always understand what is happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I mean, the work that I do, the products that we make, the fact that we get to work in like the crypto space and what I'll call capital markets, which is like stock exchanges and stuff like that, and we get to work internationally. This is incredible, and it actually matches jiu-jitsu very much because it's very high pressure, as you pointed out, in terms of like speeches, presentations, products,
shareholders.
Shareholders.
You need to create a value. You need to.
Hey, look, you know what's funny? A lot of times, shareholders are very obviously, many of them are excellent, but some of them are very like a white belt, where everything they want is every match has to have a submission.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So every day it's like, wait, how come it didn't go up like 30%? And you're like, really? But remember, when you're a white belt, it's like, I didn't get a submission, you're done.
Exactly.
When you get to black belt, sometimes the story is about, I'm just going to make...
But it's just, it's going.
Yeah, I'm just going to make a guy cook.
Right?
I'll make him cook and you'll give me the submission. In this way, I think jiu-jitsu and business are a perfect match because it teaches you, look, you can train in an hour. And if I roll with Santori, I know it's 5-6 minutes where I'm basically going to have either somebody on my back or like just squeezing the air out of me. Like you're just sort of struggling. And then remember the big Finnish guy, Janne,
a 5-time ADCC
that guy.
trials winner, Janne-Pekka Pietila.
Yeah. So not this time, but last time he was here, I rolled with him. And as usual, Santry was like, yeah, roll with that guy. It's easy. So I'm like, grab him, and I realized, this guy doesn't move.
Yeah.
And then he was on top of me, and I was like, I'm dying. I literally thought I was dying. I couldn't move.
He is such amazing the pressure.
It's like a unit. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like you can't move him. And I'm like, I'm actually going to die. But we get used to dealing with pressure like that and not panicking. And in business, it's very important to be able to look at a vision, an objective, at a problem, dissect it, not panic, and systematically execute. And that's what we do. I mean, it is, look at a scary guy like Jacare.
Yeah.
Right? This is somebody who, if you're going to roll with him, you have to sort of be super systematic in order to survive, because he's a scary guy.
Yeah.
Nicest guy, but a scary guy. So I think in that way, this is something that's very useful in jiu-jitsu. But a lot of people who haven't experienced that, they panic. Something doesn't go their way in a week or a month. They panic. They overreact. They want an overreaction. Which is the same thing that happens with like a white belt. A white belt something doesn't work. They overreact, but they don't realize that overreaction gets them caught in a submission. And so I actually think there are a lot of analogies between jiu-jitsu and business. And that is an interesting area that I'd love to explore more, because jiu-jitsu's helped me a lot.
You think you are much better as a businessman also because of martial arts and the discipline and the analytical way, how we kind of learn things?
Mikko, I think so. I think this sport makes you resilient.
Yeah.
Like, you assume when you're doing something in jiu-jitsu that you're not going to get it right the first time.
Yeah.
Sometimes not even the 1,000th time. But you show up every day continuing to work towards a goal. The one thing I've learned in business is if you do not quit, you will eventually succeed.
In jiu-jitsu, same, like you just cannot quit. You're talented or not, if you don't quit, you will get good at jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
You will get good.
Yeah.
But you just cannot quit.
The other critical point is in jiu-jitsu, you learn to fight with the body and tools you have, not the body and tools you wish you had. Yeah,
True.
And that's critical in business.
Yep.
I've seen so often people say, oh, we can't do this because A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you focusing on the limitations? Focus on what you can do and worry about executing there instead of just staring at what is a challenge and doing nothing, right? And so I think in that way, it's very, very good. Like it teaches resilience and patience. The other thing that it's taught me is, I know you have a massive social media following. Like how many users on Instagram?
We have Instagram, we have 500,000.
Okay, you've got 500,000 on Instagram. You've got like thousands, tens of thousands on YouTube. Like, I know without a doubt that you've had people that would have said, that'll never work.
Of course.
Yeah, you get negative stuff.
Yeah.
I can tell you, and particularly X, like Twitter, you get these people that are like, they'll literally make threats. Like, yeah, I kid you not. Yeah. They'll be like, man, you do this, man. Somebody's got to come out there and kick your ass.
Yeah.
And the...
What if they bite you, man, in the streets?
Yeah.
Come on.
The one thing I like, because you have like keyboard warriors that are behind a screen saying, you didn't do this, man. Somebody's got to come and kick your ass. I've said probably on 2 occasions, look, I'm going to make it simple for you. The gym is Scramble Academy, Spain. Sign the waiver.
Yeah.
Bring a mouthguard or cup or don't.
Yeah.
send location. Tomorrow Khabib's word.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people here. I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
And feel free to kick my ass.
And tomorrow, actually, we have a competition class. So it's open for.
It's open.
We're going to do 12 rounds, so I can do one with you also.
Yeah. And I say this, like, there's no need to talk tough behind the screen.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Come, join us on the mats. You test it out here. And there's a nice confidence in that, because I think, on the tatami, we learn that somebody may be small or quiet, doesn't mean they're not capable.
No.
Like, you've met Camille.
Yeah.
Camille's one of the most dangerous people I've ever rolled with.
And he's not the biggest guy, but he's so
if you put me and Camille in a lineup and you ask probably 10 people, which guy would be the better fighter?
Yeah.
Everybody, the black guy.
Yeah.
No. I can't touch Camille. I touch Camille, I start bleeding.
Yeah.
So that's what's nice about this sport. It gives you a bit of a comfort level that.
Yeah, because it's it's also a realistic skill set, because we know when we train, we can test our skill set. And also, I think also in a business-wise, because also like you are doing something, when you're training Jiu-Jitsu, we are solving problems.
Yeah.
And in Jiu-Jitsu match, even though you are a CEO, you are, whatever, you have no time to think of your business side. Here you are thinking about this moment. And I think it's great, because you get vacation from your your own head a little bit.
You can't. I have to clarify. I'm president of the company.
Okay.
President of DeFi.
What is the difference, president and?
Well, it's. Actually, I'm not sure I know, but there is a formal difference.
Okay.
But it's. I treat the company as if it's all mine, and try to make the decisions in the best interest of the shareholders. Anyway, like my mom and dad are invested, I'm invested, but I have to make sure that it is legally correct. But yeah, you're right. Like in Jiu-Jitsu, if somebody is choking you, that you can't really, your mind can't wander.
No, and you cannot think like what I'm like. You are in that moment, and I think that's also the magic of Jiu-Jitsu, because you live. Because people are nowadays, many times you are thinking about something that happened in your past, or what I'm going to do next week. This is the thing. You are living in the moment, in the present.
Yeah. Well, you get distracted, you're going to get tapped.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, hey, distraction, you get tapped. And I think that focus actually, it really helps in business. Why? Because you're able to just sort of say, okay, I have to focus on this problem 100% right now. This is my problem of the week, and that's what I'm going to concentrate on. And it's the same thing. Like, you can be having a bad day at home or at work, but if you have somebody hanging onto your neck with a submission lock,
I'm
not worried about like my bills or anything at that moment.
Yeah, that's the problem at the moment.
Exactly.
But it's great, because I have been also seeing, like, I do a lot of, I teach quite a lot also the wealthy people, and I do a lot of private camps.
Yeah.
So there is guys who, for example, they fly to train with me, let's say for 1 week.
Yeah.
And they are businessmen and very wealthy people, and with them it's like they are so pumped. When we are doing 1 week together, we train twice a day.
Yep.
And it's not only Jiu-Jitsu, but it's also, everybody says the time with me makes them better in their job also. And because I'm a big fan of personal growth, so I'm teaching martial arts, but martial arts for me is a tool for personal growth and making ourselves better human beings.
Yeah.
So I love the process and the problem solving. And many guys, many of my students, they always say I'm better at my job because we have trained together and we have, pushed each other, and I just love the process. And I truly feel also now I've trained quite a long time, and for me also, the more I train, I make better decisions. I'm a better man. I make more rational decisions, and again, I'm not panicking in a bad position.
Yeah.
I'm calm, whatever it is, whatever the situation is. I'm not going to panic.
When's the last time you've lost your temper?
I don't even remember.
Exactly.
I don't even remember. One guy, can imagine, even I was outside with my ex-girlfriend years ago, and some guy spit on my face.
Yeah.
I was like, I walk away.
Yeah, because, and that's very, very true. I don't lose my temper.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not going to get into a physical altercation. certainly because of me.
Yeah.
Obviously, if somebody were to touch my kids,
Yeah,
that'd
of
be
course.
different.
But we are always walking away unless we
Exactly.
cannot walk away.
Yeah, because you realize some things. You realize that just how dangerous people can be.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I now understand the consequences of violence.
Yeah.
And, you may think you can be better or stronger than somebody, but they can catch you with something.
Yeah.
So we're careful. You don't lose your temper because you realize that.
Yeah.
And I also think that goes to what you were saying about the executives you train and how they leave feeling it makes them a better business person. You understand the limits of your power, and you also understand the extent of your power at the same time. So if somebody is in a meeting and they're making threats and they're swearing and trying to be tough,
Yeah.
sometimes I just sit back and I look at the person.
Yeah.
Or maybe the person has a belly,
Yeah.
and I'm looking and I'm thinking, you have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Yep.
So you just calm down and let them
And
finish.
you can be relaxed, like a.
Yeah.
You know.
You know.
I know.
Yeah.
You are like a kid to me.
Yeah,
If we
yeah.
get a physical altercation,
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want with you.
Yeah.
That's makes me smile and I'm calm because
Yeah.
you can bark, you can do whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the reality.
Yeah.
And because we spar every single day,
Yeah.
it's not like maybe we know what
know.
we are capable of.
We know.
We know.
Oh, you just spent an hour and a half doing
Yeah.
it earlier. You just know. So sometimes that helps put things in perspective.
Yeah.
And it does keep me calm. When
Yeah.
somebody is, making threats or bluster,
Yeah.
I just
And you
sort
don't kind of get in that stage. You are like,
No.
You kind of separate yourself. You are in your bubble. I'm here. I'm calm. Like,
Yeah.
you know. But that.
And that to me is very helpful. It's only like, as I was saying before, you get like people on X or in social media, and they're not. You don't get that from you'll never get that from like a UFC fighter, a professional
No.
fighter.
Haters never
No.
are more successful than you. Most of the
Yeah,
times. They.
but you'll get some guy who's anonymous. It's always
Yeah.
somebody who's anonymous. Yeah, we're gonna do this, that, the other, and I'm like, look, save your energy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it easy for you. This is where I'll be. Just come on down, and then you can do anything you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Just sign the waiver. There's the barrier over there. Cross the barrier. You're welcome. Come,
Yeah.
bring all your threats. Bring that energy. And you're just calm in knowing that. And if they come and they wipe the floors with me, so be it. I'll figure it out.
Exactly. So be it. Then we know we learn. But I think that this kind of ability to stay very calm in an aggressive situation, is the business or love in the streets, whatever. I think that's the true superpower of jiu-jitsu, because it just comes naturally. Like I remember I made this meme like years and years ago where I said like jiu-jitsu gives you the ability to be the man who you really want to be. Like the calmness, you can walk differently.
Yeah.
You will walk different. You don't.
You may have a limp.
What?
You may have a limp.
Yeah, you may have a limp and your shoulder is hurting. You might have a black eye, but if there's no guns or knives or anybody, if somebody grabs you, they're gone.
That's very true. The person doesn't have a gun or a knife.
Yeah.
I'm quite comfortable.
Yeah.
But I've often with my daughters, who they also train jiu-jitsu. They're certainly black belts in Taekwondo as well. We often have a joke that we're sometimes so tired from training that even if somebody were to come and threaten us, we'd be like, look, can you come back next week? We're too sore. We're too
From
tired.
fighting.
We're too tired from fighting. What do you want? Is it money you want? Here, take the money. Okay, that's
Oh, unbelievable. Actually, I have a story about we're talking about the keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Because I have like 500,000 Instagram followers and hundreds of thousands of other platforms, and I have only needed to block, I think, more or less 80 persons on Instagram, because I answer to almost everybody. I try to answer to everybody.
You're very
I try to be active, because I love that if people show me respect, like, oh, Mikko, I respect you.
I want
I'm super
people to
humble.
understand that the Mikko that you see on video is actually even more Mikko in person, and he's a nicer guy and even more passionate about jiu-jitsu than he is on video, just so you know that. Yeah.
Thank you for the kind words. And I remember because, like, if somebody send me a message, something negative, regarding a little bit how they write it. If it's nicely right, like okay, I hope you understand that these techniques are, you know, some of them, and I have been hitting every single technique in a live rolling, not as black belt. But anyway, and I usually don't answer any kind of negative stuff. I usually, if it's a bad attitude, delete and block. I don't have time negativity because I only give good vibes. But anyway, one time, I don't know, I was in a bad mood, whatever. I saw one comment, this guy, man, this guy doesn't know. And then I was like, I sent him a message. Really? I was like, yeah, welcome. You can find me here. And then the guy was like, Mikko, thank you for a message, but I'm just a keyboard warrior. Why did you would kill me in real life? Like then it hit me. I was like, man, but I'm grateful for this guy because he told me like, I didn't expect it. You would kill me, Mikko, in real life. I'm just barking here because I have nothing. And he was honest keyboard warrior, and that was light bulb for me. Okay, so I don't engage with that energy because I live from the good energy. I spread good energy. I'm always in a good mood. I think keeping a good mood. I'm putting a lot of positive stuff in the world. So I don't mind if somebody sends me something. I just gonna delete immediately. I don't engage. But that was the only time. But it was a light bulb. I was like, of course, I cannot engage this, and because then it affects me. Then I was in a bad mood. Like, oh, this guy, I would.
And actually, the worst thing about it is, almost any time I've decided that I fought with anger, I normally get hurt.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm gonna like
exactly.
Like break a finger or something.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna break yourself. Because you
use too much energy.
Yeah,
anyway,
you're passing out.
So that's actually a really good point. But to me, I think this is the greatest sport and martial art, because if you want to train 3 times a day and do 15, 20 rounds in a day, you can. I can't do that in Taekwondo.
No,
you can't do that in boxing.
Yeah.
Like going full
somebody
power.
hits you in the face 15 rounds a day. It's like you can.
You can't.
It's impossible.
I mean, what is tough is I'm sure you're going to get dings and scrapes. Like I've had some black eyes and stuff. And it's never fun going to meetings, sort of looking like Quasimodo. But I now what I do, because I had one set of like cauliflower ear, and so they drained it in the hospital with tape. So you see me with that wrestling helmet.
But I cannot even see that you.
No,
it's perfect job.
It was so painful.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
you don't have?
Yeah, because I think the reason for me is because I started to do wrestling when I was 4 years old. So I think when I was a kid, my ears has always been like in the. I don't know, but I think because I started so young, I think that's
perfect ears.
But Santeri doesn't have also.
Yeah, he is. But like when it swells, like even to touch it hurts.
Yeah,
and you drain it with a syringe. So I eventually had to go to I went to the hospital and they like sort of cut through and let it drain, and they stitched it. And after that, I was like, no, I'm going to wear a wrestling cap. And I wear a cup and a mouth guard just to sort of. So other than that, it's mainly knees and shoulders and neck that tends to get dinged. But it's okay. But I think this sport, this is a sport for everybody.
It is for everybody. And also, I love the challenge kind of teaching different kind of people. Of course, I have like basic set of techniques what I use with most of the students, but also because for me, I'm always intrigued by like specific person. Okay, this guy, this mindset. I need to like how I can teach him the techniques as fast as possible, and then he understands. Like I don't teach like especially if I do private camps. I everything is such a unique stuff for it's only for you. It's super personalized, and I love the challenge. Like, okay, so this guy's struggling with this movement, and he has this kind of a weird fixation of going like, okay, so I need to twist and tweak, and it's so challenging, which I love.
What I love about teaching is when you show people, even people that might be small, the power of leverage and weight distribution. And you'll get somebody, and when that light bulb goes out, that you can be relaxed. You don't have to be 200 kilos. You can be 50 kilos, 60 kilos. But if you apply your weight in the correct way at certain points on somebody's body, you will defeat them. You will make them tired. I also love the mechanical details of certain submissions.
Yep.
One of my favorite dumb one is the control of the thumb with the arm bar. Or, I mean, people in the gym know I like wrist locks. How in controlling the elbow, if I know I can block the elbow.
Yeah, because if the elbow is blocked, the wrist is exposed.
I get the wrist.
Yep.
And it's tiny things.
You did it today.
Yeah, I did. I did today. But it's stuff like that keeps me studying the martial art for countless hours, even off the mats. It's infinite. It's infinite. Like turning the head to one side weakens the body.
Yep.
These are tiny things that you'd never consider, but for in combat.
Do you think that jiu-jitsu is for life? Because also one of the reasons is like this journey never ends. Like we learn every single day, and it's like all the best for boxing, for example. But are you really learning something new if you have, let's say we have been doing boxing 15 years. Yeah. I learn every single day. So it's like I'm always learning something. That's the proof is in the pudding. People want to do it for a long time because I truly believe that I learn every single day, and it keeps me like I'm just a white belt who never gave up. And I feel that way. I'm going to be a student forever.
Look, Mikko, I think you're 100% correct. We have gi jiu-jitsu with the kimono, which is, to me, it's both the same and completely different from no gi without the kimono. Then you will have jiu-jitsu against a bigger person, jiu-jitsu against a smaller person, jiu-jitsu against a faster, stronger, more flexible person. Then you also have your jiu-jitsu when you're injured versus your jiu-jitsu when you're young versus your jiu-jitsu as you age. So it doesn't matter because every year it's like the techniques that will work for you next year might not be the techniques that'll work for me this year, right? And so in this way, it's infinite.
Yes.
Like I have to change the game now because I was rolling with Yoel. Yoel's 25 or something. And it's just a different game. Yeah. He moves different. He's super fast, super technical. So if I'm gonna have a competitive game, it all of a sudden turns into like stall jitsu.
Yeah.
But how do you stall in no-gi? It's different.
It is.
Right?
You cannot pin them down so easily. With gi, I can grab your pants and I can keep you down.
Yeah. So in that way, it's like I would probably say every year I have to reassess what my own body can do and what it can do in relation to other people.
We know it because think about, let's say 2 years from now, before like 2 years ago, your jiu-jitsu and my jiu-jitsu, how we roll, it was different. Like how I do my passing now, of course, getting older and everything, but I want to be more efficient. I don't want to, aggressive passing or just moving backward. No, I'm just I go ladder.
Well, now I sort of body surf. I use my weight way better than I did 5 years ago.
And when you're a heavyweight, like I feel when you are on top of me, if you control your weight good, like I'm using a lot of power to try to push you away. You are relaxing there, and if I do some move, you're gonna make it a little bit more tighter.
Yeah, because my whole game is to not get tired and to make the other person carry my weight.
I can feel it.
But I also know that when I was younger, I used to have like multiple explosions and scrambles. And now my game is how do I stop that person from having multiple explosions and scrambles? But it's really infinite. And
it is. And also think about like in jiu-jitsu, because we have our unique system for competing. So basically in your older age, if you want to compete, you're going to compete at the same age. So we have master categories in jiu-jitsu, those who don't competing jiu-jitsu. So we have master categories every 4 years. There is a category. So for example, I'm a master 4, I think so.
Yeah.
So I could fight same age, same belt, and same weight. So in that sense, if you start jiu-jitsu, you are 52. No problem.
Yeah,
we can go compete,
against your peers.
and you don't need to compete 25-year-old young guys.
But I have to admit, I always have to try.
You go to the adults. I know because
do.
you want to challenge yourself. But
I do.
What was the competition where you went to do the adults? Or did you do?
Yeah, I did twice. I did once in the Euros, at brown belt, and then I did once the Andalusian. And I did actually pretty well in the Andalusian. I think I got a gold medal in that tournament. Or did I? No, I lost in the final. But I had like 7 matches, and I won 6 out of 7.
Nice.
But that's the thing about jiu-jitsu. If you use fundamentals, it can work against people who are younger and sometimes better. I'm being hesitant in saying that because then there's Santori.
Of course, there is guys who we cannot do anything. But it's not.
Honestly, it annoys me, and I say it into the camera. Santori, one day I will get you, I'll beat you, I'll tap you, I'll submit you.
Yeah, I will be here recording that.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't see this, but your time is coming. But yeah, like it is nice though, because can you imagine if you beat everybody? Like you wouldn't think to improve. Yeah, like it would almost get boring. But as it is right now, I'm like, that guy. Get a little nervous. Today I'm going to try the Imanari roll.
Didn't work. Didn't work.
Did it wrong. So, but yeah, I always like to try. I never am afraid of losing. I'm more afraid of not trying than I am of losing.
And I think that's also good for all the people who does jiu-jitsu. It's like explore, keep it playful. Like we have our ABC game. Like if you need to go, like as hard as I can, I usually go for my ABC game. But 90% of the time when I train, I catch a kimura or I do front roll. Oh shit, I end up at bottom or whatever happens. And I love it. And still, I'm rolling with some white belt or blue belt. I do something crazy and then I end up in the bottom. They must be thinking, what this guy? But I just love the exploring things. I'm probably not going to do the same mistake many times. But I love to do the exploring the art and
Mikko, I think that's why you're good, because I actually think the progress doesn't come from only practicing your dominant positions. I actually think the progress comes from practicing or being placed in weak positions and surviving or escaping.
And also for your mental, if you only train the stuff what you're good at in your unconscious, like those things that you feel like I'm not confident, they get even further away from your A game, and then you end up in a situation where you need to use the other stuff.
But you even see it in the UFC. I don't know if you recall the match with DDP versus Khamzat. Where Khamzat just had him in crucifix like many times, and DDP's a beast, like, massive, but he couldn't escape the position. Now, that said, I'm sure if Khamzat were here and put me in anything, I wouldn't move. So no criticism to DDP, but I do think that a big part of quality training is to focus on weak positions so you're never uncomfortable. Because you have to assume when you're going to compete or you're going to war or you are in business, you're going to face adversity. And you have to be prepared to survive it in order to overcome.
Exactly, and that's why that's the reason why we do quite a lot of. For example, I'm a big fan of doing positional sparring, and I always do positional sparring. For example, tomorrow in a competition class, we're going to go all the main positions. We're going to go close guard, half guard. We follow these because then you need to do. Let's say, for example, you're going to be on turtle bottom 3 minutes. I hate the position, but you need to do it. And when we do the positional sparring, that kind of forces everybody to do also the weak positions and everything. And
well, because imagine like. It is quite conceivable that if you don't practice those positions, like for instance, bottom north-south is a position I won't consciously practice, and it's rare that I'll get stuck there. But I always practice it because there are 1 or 2 people, I think Bombero, like Javi Bombero is one, who they get me in that position. Every time I'm there, I'm like, oh, what do I do? And I'm like, crap, I forgot. And that's a terrible position to be in. Like be in a negative position that you don't have a technical solution for escaping. So positional sparring, I think, is very important.
It is, and also for the beginners, I talk quite a lot about like doing the positional and learning the BJJ blueprint system, what I created, like that we have something from every position, because then Jiu-Jitsu makes kind of sense. You at least know what you are trying. You are not going to be able to sweep me from close guard, but you at least you know what you are trying, and then it's not so frustrating. If you have no idea, then it's like, well, what is this? I have no idea. But if you have an idea, if you can execute it or no, it makes sense, and Jiu-Jitsu becomes more fun when you at least understand what you are trying to do.
Yep, you have a plan, and I think that relates very much to business. Like, it's always important to understand what your options are, what is the best, what is good, and what is, I'll call, least good.
Yeah.
I think when you have a plan like that, whether it's fighting or business, then you're able to execute without panicking.
Yeah.
If you have no plan and you're in a fight, you're going to get scared. Yep. And if you get scared, you use too much energy. You use too much energy, you get tired. You get tired, you're at risk.
Yeah.
And the same thing in business. You have no plan, then you just throw money at the problem.
Yeah.
And eventually, just like you get tired, you're going to run out of money. And once you run out of money, you're out of business. You die. So I think it's always good to have a range of options and plans and strategies. And if it's good for fighting, I think it's probably good for business too.
Let's go back a little bit and what made you the man who are today. So let's talk about the early days, like when you started to do the coding and when did you, how were you in school? Where did you went to your school?
I grew up, I was born in Montreal, and I grew up in a small town in Canada called Cornwall, Ontario.
Okay.
And that's where I started my schooling.
You're in good in school?
I was a nerd.
Okay.
I don't think that's a surprise to anybody who knows me. I was always a really geeky kid. I wasn't ever like a social kid.
Yeah.
I love my hometown, had wonderful friends there, but I mean, we were the only immigrant family. I think we were the only black family for many, many years, at least maybe there was one other. And so I was definitely the only black kid in school. So that like when you're super young, that can be tricky. Like people get picked on for a range of reasons.
Yeah. And you're an easy target because in that sense, because there is one guy who looks different.
Yeah. So it made it particularly easy for me to focus on studies and science and computers instead of being like, for instance, out in the schoolyard a lot, where you could get your ass kicked just for showing up. But I honestly, I had a wonderful childhood. My family is very academic. My mom is a doctor, my dad's a doctor, my sister, brilliant doctor. And so the main currency in our family was talking about science, and you were never allowed to sort of arrive at a dumb conclusion.
Okay.
Like, and I was the youngest, so if I wanted to get an idea out, I had to like pre-think it in order for it to have validity. But yeah, so that's where I grew up, but I was a nerd.
When did you start to do the coding and what was your first job?
I was 7 when I started coding. I was 7.
Unbelievable.
My parents bought me a...
So cool.
They said that they didn't want me playing video games.
Yeah.
If I wanted to play video games, I should make them myself. And so they got me like an Apple IIc. It was actually a clone. And at that time you get books and then you'd copy the code. And my first game was like a space, it was like a space lander vehicle that was all in like characters. So you move it like this, and I spent hours like with that. But so, and then I went from there to boarding school in Toronto. I had a great time there. Obviously it was, there were some challenges, but honestly, it's like anything. You look back at these and it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
And ended up, I went and I studied business in Scotland, and I got my MBA at a very young age and started working for a consulting firm called Deloitte Consulting, one of the big four. And from there, it sort of started to bring me closer to finance and the computer technology world. And I just always continued with that. When I was at Deloitte, we used to do work in like valuation, like sort of figuring out what companies are worth. And I realized that there's a whole world of, I'll call it financial mathematics, that I didn't know, that I wasn't an expert at. So I enrolled in a course in the US in Washington, DC, at a university there in financial engineering. And when I studied that, I took from that an opportunity to start a company to make financial engineering software. And financial engineering is sort of like, it's actually just statistics and creating like, in my case, we created a system for evaluating like bonds and interest rates using these statistical tools. But in the company I work for now, we create products and list them on stock exchanges. So financial engineering, you could say, would be using technology and advanced mathematical concepts in order to create innovative financial products that people and companies can invest in. And that's really been my focus over the years in varying capacities. Yeah. So
Pretty exciting.
It's super geeky. Like I'm almost embarrassed talking about it, but you know what? I love it. And it's, for me, it is to my life what jiu-jitsu is. And I would be doing this sort of thing, trying to think of cool products and stuff that we could engineer, even if I wasn't paid. You know, I
think that's the thing. Like if you have something that you would do if they pay you or not, like then you are doing something that you're supposed to do. Like if you would do this, you would do martial arts, and you would do.
Well, I know I say that so much because I know that's how you are about spreading the message on jiu-jitsu, teaching, training. I know you're going off to, I don't know, like Latvia and India and all these places, and of course you're paid to do it, but I think you do this out of love, not for...
Of course, and for me, I was just talking with, actually Janne-Pekka Pietiläinen there. And also
he's in finance too.
Yeah, and he's actually also world champion in brown belt, in gi. But these guys,
he's a different world champ. Well, I was never world champ, European champ, but I rolled with him, and then I'm like, I think I should give him my medal. I couldn't move. I could not move. I think he tapped me twice in like 5 minutes too, with ease. Just like hugging me.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything when I was rolling with him.
But he's a great guy.
And what we were talking about before, I forget. You were telling me something, and I was trying to get the idea from what we'll talk with Janne. What we were talking.
We're talking about how if you love your work.
Yes, exactly. So I was talking with Janne, and because I made a calculation, 80% I do free. I teach 80% free, and I would make much more money, but because I just love helping people. I do a lot of pro bono for kids who cannot afford. I do a lot of free privates, and in UK when I was living there, I did a project with the schoolgirls. So I went to different schools and teach just, self-defense, martial arts, and I was a good guy to teach that because I look aggressive guy. So when you learn, like when I graduate...
Actually, you know what's weird? I don't see that in you now. I remember it when I first met you, but now I just see smiling Mikko.
Exactly. And of course, I'm not an aggressive guy. No. But it was like a great way, those kids, because they saw me and they were like, who's this guy? And then when I started to teach them, and if I'm like I pretend to be aggressive towards them, and they can handle it, you can handle it.
It makes them ready.
Exactly.
But think of the lives that if you haven't saved, you've made so much better. Like by just teaching people self-defense. This is a tough world.
It is.
And
it's brutal. Violence on the street. Come on.
And it touches everybody.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people may be watching and they may think, oh, I live in a good neighborhood or I'm rich or this. No.
No.
It can come out of anywhere, and I think it's getting to be more, and I think people need to be ready.
Exactly, and that's why, I think everybody should train jiu-jitsu, and I would be, actually, they were invited me to teach, the kind of United Polish Nation, something like a policeman in UK, and I probably want to do it because also for me, like law enforcement, like how they control, like if they need to use like any kind of power against somebody, everybody, all the police should train jiu-jitsu. I would love to be part of some kind of project where we would make that happen because
it should be mandatory.
It should be, and some places in US
because it'll save lives as well.
It will save lives, and these guys gonna make better decisions.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a better man, and as also
and they may not have to use guns as much.
Exactly.
And I think most importantly, they get to go home. Yeah. If they know how to defend themselves, they're not in a situation of being, ambushed or molested or damaged by a crazy person. Yeah. And this is important because I don't, I've been in situations where there have been people who are under the influence of some drugs. And there are some drugs, whenever, if you're rolling with somebody who's on those drugs, like a cocaine, an arm bar is not...
No, they don't give a shit if the arms
give a shit.
No.
You can break it, take the arm off, they'll keep fighting.
Yeah.
You have to choke them.
That's exactly.
And I think that, I'm by no means I'm never a street fighter, I'm by no means law enforcement, but I do think understanding that what real combat is and what techniques work against certain people is important.
It is.
Like there's some people, I will never ever try an armbar.
Yeah.
I will never ever try a triangle.
Yeah.
I look at the guy, I'm like, you have no neck.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and try and cross choke you.
Yeah.
Like I'll break my fingers.
Yeah.
You only learn this from practice.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So I think you're really right. If you can help law enforcement.
And of course it's of course the problem is because jiu-jitsu is so hard, so it needs to be like months and months of training. But I think like if we want to make a world a better place, this is one way to do it, because when these guys who are enforcing law, when they are better men, when they know what they're capable of doing, they don't need to use guns, and it de-escalates many aggression, because like us, like if somebody comes to me with their aggression, I'm like, come on, man.
Well, I have no doubt you've probably had people in your classes, because I've had them in my classes here, where they're trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
And they're, not that experienced, but they're picking on maybe a woman or somebody who's smaller.
Yep.
And you sort of have to look and say, hello, you're with me.
Yep.
And you let everybody. I think moments like that are important, right? Because sometimes there are situations you can't de-escalate, but you have to be able to use your force in a controlled way. You can do that here. And you also learn the limits of, sometimes I've done that and I'm like, oh shit, that guy's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I spoke too soon. It's like, I should ask the other guy to do it. But, I think that stuff is really, really important, and law enforcement needs to be exposed to that. I think a weekend of training is still better than no training.
Of course it is. And of course it can. And also what that might like a spark is that in interest, like the police officers, they know, I want to learn this. Yeah. And maybe they even start to train. Like we have a lot of policies here. They train a lot of cops and soldiers and border forces.
SWAT men, firemen.
Yeah, we have all areas of
and then the other side.
Yeah, the other side. But in the tatamis, I love the place because there is nobody cares what you do as a job. Only thing I remember, this guy has how's your ankle, man? I have no idea what you do as a job. But it's I love the environment because there is everybody is equal.
There's no class. You show up, you're in your no-gi gear, you're wearing your kimono, that's it.
That's it.
And
I remember, when I was a beginner, when I was starting, when I was a white belt, blue belt, I remember always when I see guys who are like higher belts, and if they have around me, or if they give me any kind of good job or whatever, I was like,
it means a lot.
Wow. And now I understand how what we do for the beginners, because we treat them as equal.
Yeah.
We treat, what's up, my brother? Blah, blah, blah. It must be like very nice for them. Like, because I remember I was over the moon when some higher belts were giving me a little bit of time. Mikko, come here, I will show you. Wow.
It's like
So it's great to be part of now on the other side of the table, just helping. And for me, it truly doesn't matter. I will respect world champion and one stripe white belt, exactly the same.
Yeah, me too. And I think the reality is every time I step on the mats, I actually still feel like the same white belt that I was.
Yeah.
Like I have that same wonder towards jiu-jitsu. If I see somebody executing, exhibiting excellent control, if I see a great technique, I'm like, man, how did you do that? Can we practice? How do you escape? So it's, I think the belt you get with time, but the learning is an eternal journey.
It is. And that's why, for example, now there is a lot of talks about, for example, the money break situation where the guy get the black belt in 3.5 years. Like, I don't even want to go this, but I would say only this, like, it's impossible to learn deep concepts in a short amount of time.
I think Caio Terra got his black belt in 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And Caio Terra's a legend.
Yeah,
but he's a genius.
He competed, he won everything.
He did everything. So, I think there will always be a degree of, I'll call it grade inflation.
Yeah.
And I know this sounds bad. Maybe it makes me sound like, the old school guy, but I suspect that in time, like the quality of certain black belts, I don't mean like the high level competitors. It's not going to be the same as the quality of black belts when a lot of these guys were also fighting MMA, like to test the quality of the jiu-jitsu. But at the end of the day, I always used to say to my kids, just worry about you. Like, we're in this journey for ourselves.
Yeah, and it's a personal journey. Yeah. So, and also, like, don't compare yourself to others, because then you go, that's not a good idea. Your job and your goal is to be a better version that you were.
Yeah.
Because if there is, again, a personal journey, you might be like, okay, we go toe and toe with this guy. Of course, it gives you the, sometimes nice push, but don't think about that's your main meter of your growth. Like,
so
it should be.
I don't know what Mr. Moneyberg's situation was, but to some extent, it doesn't impact my journey.
Exactly, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But also, I think in the stories, because jiu-jitsu community is buzzing, because it's, no sparring, no competitions, 3.5 years black belt. Come on, like.
I don't agree. I have the MRI, X-rays, and injuries to show for it. But I mean, if somebody's able to get to a high skill level without that record of injury, God bless them.
Yeah.
I know I couldn't.
Yeah.
I know if I take 4 months off or a year off, I know the quality, my stamina, my timing, it degrades. So all I know is, for me, this is a lifelong journey. If I want to be proficient, I got to keep doing it.
And it's kind of rewarding. Also, jiu-jitsu, if you keep your mind open, it's very rewarding, even though you have done it for a very long time. Like, you always, you learn something, you kind of, if you're open to this art, it will give you so much.
Look, I love weightlifting. I love sprinting. But this it's like life. It's like breathing. When I'm away from it, I feel like my body's starved of oxygen. I know that sounds dramatic.
Yeah, but it is like.
But I just miss it. I feel like there's a part of my soul missing. And it was particularly tough the last couple of years because I had to work so much. And I was just like, look, I can't risk the injury. I can't risk. But now, if I can get good equilibrium in my life, then I want this to be a major part of my life again. And I feel good. Like, I'm sore again.
Yeah.
But I feel good walking the streets, just feeling like I have the timing to do something. Not that I ever would. But if I needed to do something, I'm not going to like say, I put my hand in the wrong place. So,
okay, what about other sports? What you do? Do you do lifting? Do you do cardio? What else do you do?
So as far as training, I do try to lift almost daily.
Okay.
For cardio, I do sprints about once or twice a week, just
Okay.
like short distance, and I jump rope a lot because I can travel with a jump rope. So I can go to a parking lot, be in a hotel gym, and jump rope. I'm not a big cardio guy.
Okay.
My favorite form of cardio is either Taekwondo or Jiu-Jitsu, and that's about it. I don't try to hit maxes in lifting as much as I used to when I was young, because now I'm always thinking about injury.
Do you do longer sets with lighter weights or?
Yeah, I like a warm-up set would have maybe 20 reps of incredibly light weight, and then afterwards my average sets will be 8 to 12 reps. Okay. And on a series, so I sort of have a cycle where I decide I'm going to be strong, and when I'm focusing on strength, then I'll hit like 4 reps or 3 reps with heavier weight. But I'll almost never do a 1 rep max now. And as far as cardio goes, I will do about 5 minutes of jump rope in intervals so that the intensity is high. But on occasion, I might do like a half-hour jog, but that I'll literally just do if I feel like it, not as part of a regimen. Yeah.
What about your diet? What kind of food you eat?
Okay, my diet is quite boring. I have to admit, I eat a lot of protein.
Yeah.
I'm not a big dessert or sugar person. I'm not a big carb person. When it is carbs, I'll like eat rice. I do have a soft spot for natural potato chips.
Oh, same as Sebastian. Sebastian Broche is also like, he was like, chips.
Just like chips. I have a soft spot.
Yeah.
But man, any protein like salmon, steak, chicken, pork.
What about your daily schedule? Like, do you have a specific like breakfast, and do you eat like how many times you eat in a day?
I normally eat about twice a day.
Okay.
I'll have a light breakfast.
Yeah.
And normally that would consist of a bit of fruit, cheese, yogurt, and that's it. And then I would like to eat more, but I forget.
Okay.
So the breakfast happens like mid-morning, and then in the evening I'll like eat almost as much as I can protein.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to lift, because I tend to get like a little nauseous if I don't have anything in my stomach, I'll have a snack right before, go and lift, and then just come back and eat like a pig. Yeah. So I don't block anything from my diet. I don't drink. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Never done drugs. But what I will generally eat is what I like, and that tends to be like meat. Of course, I'll add like vegetables and stuff, but I generally eat pretty clean. But if I go to a restaurant and people are having pizza,
what is your guilt? Do you have any guilty pleasure?
I have 2 guilty pleasures. No, I'll tell you. Actually, I consider hamburgers health food.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I like.
But not McDonald's, guys.
No, not McDonald's. Real burgers.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this: I have 2 guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears. What flavors or anything?
I love the green ones, but I'll eat them all. But the real food that is a problem for me, blackberries.
Blackberries
are like crack cocaine for me.
Oh, really?
I used to buy 1 pack and say, I'll save it. Yeah. I now will go to Mercadona and buy like 4 packs.
And you will eat them all?
I'll eat them all. But the idea was to eat 1 and then perhaps offer some to others.
That's the idea. Same like I always when I visit Finland, I always bring these kind of these kind of chocolate bars.
Yeah.
And my idea is that I'm going to buy like 15 different ones and I'm going to give them. Last time, I ate them all. 2 days after I came home,
they're gone.
They're gone. And I'm not even I don't eat sugar so much, but they were just there. I don't know.
I have 0 willpower for blackberries. Blackberries.
Why is it a bad thing? Are they healthy?
Look, nothing that too much of anything can't be. Like you can't be like I could literally buy out the section in Mercadona, and I bet you within 2 hours, they'd all be gone.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to buy blackberries. I'm going to think of you and snack them.
I don't know. I try to control myself. I love blackberries. And gummy bears, I've reduced them to every time I fly. But then what was happening was I would fly a lot, and then I was like, this doesn't work. Because if you're in like 3 or 4 flights a week, and you're getting like, like a kilo of gummy bears each flight,
so then it's
you do the math,
pretty
and you're
regularly.
like, this is not a good idea. So I had to recalibrate my gummy bear addiction.
It's under control now.
It's under control in as much as I just refuse to buy them. Like I won't go to the airport like, I always used to be like, I don't want to travel, so I'm buying these to sort of calm myself down.
Oh, yeah.
But 4th bag in a week, I was like, no, you've got a problem, boy. So I think it's under control. I haven't bought gummy bears.
But you talk it very rationally, so I think it's your addiction is at least some.
Yeah, well, look, I recognize the addiction. Like I'm not saying I don't recognize it, but it was an addiction. Mikko, it was bad.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It makes so funny because this one I didn't know. I didn't know.
It's shitting gummy bears for a while. No, I'm serious. Really bad. Like I was like, this is too much. Like you'd read the ingredients, and you can't be made out of this stuff. No, stop.
What do you think? How big is the importance of diet in your physical performance?
Honestly, it's an interesting thing because I have been told by everybody over the years that I have the worst diet.
Why?
Look, I've been told by vegetarians I eat too much meat.
Yeah.
I've been told by vegans I eat meat. I've been told by everybody, you have the worst diet, you're not eating right, too much cheese, too much protein, too much cholesterol. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I like what I like to eat. But the interesting thing is I feel pretty good.
I think that's the most important thing.
You've known me a while. My physique doesn't change that much.
No.
I feel strong.
Yeah.
I'm not using any performance enhancers. So I just, everything in moderation. But I do like protein. Like if I go to a restaurant, if I can get a good steak or a night, man, I'm a happy boy.
What about supplements? Do you take any?
I take creatine.
Yeah.
I take vitamin D.
Yeah.
Those are like core. I take, my nephew Sappho told me that he ran like Division I track in the US and they used to take a beetroot supplement for nitric oxide.
Yeah.
So I take that before I work out. I take, what else do I take? The main ones are creatine, vitamin D. I take L-carnitine.
Yeah.
That's one I take. I take zinc.
Yeah.
I take zinc. I take, sometimes I take a B vitamin. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like a B complex.
Yeah, I have the same methylated form.
Yeah. And honestly, that's about it. Everything else is like just gimmicky, but those are the ones that I'm definitely taking like
Nice.
almost
I have
daily.
pretty the same, but I add to that also magnesium and also
I take magnesium.
So
I think my zinc has its zinc with magnesium.
perfect.
It's
And
like
I took
zinc MA.
same. And for me, also I take omega-3 because I don't
Take omega-3.
my man. Omega-3. Give me something. Omega-3.
I take omega-3.
Omega-3. Yeah, because I don't eat
fish
fish.
oil
I
capsules,
don't.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
fish
yeah,
capsules. I don't eat fish so much. Even here is a great, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just I don't know because I didn't
I
eat
eat so much salmon. I love salmon.
salmon is smoked salmon.
I like the actual salmon fillets.
Yeah.
I cook that up. I mean, that's what I'm going to eat for lunch now.
Nice.
Like that is like my preferred, like.
What kind of rice you prefer? What is you need? It's just white rice.
Basmati,
Oh.
white rice.
I do like.
Basic.
I love from Carrefour. They have organic basmati rice. And do you know that in organic rice, I don't need to wash it. It's just there's no starch. And I don't know. Maybe it's placebo or no, but I feel a difference.
Yeah.
I feel a difference. And
Well, your body is pretty like optimized.
Yeah,
Like
I feel
you train.
I feel everything, all the little changes, and I'm kind of happy and not happy at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I have a strict diet, which I enjoy. I can eat sometimes,
But when you eat bad food now, you feel
Now,
it.
exactly. And now, for example, I'm extremely nervous. I'm going to go to India for 6 weeks in a couple of weeks. So, and I have been eating, clean protein, vegetables, salads, olive oil, like good stuff. But I think I should be starting to eat a little bit more spices, because otherwise it's going to be,
it's gonna,
a shock.
Yeah,
like
and
it's going to
this
be shock.
happens when you travel places.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's going to be an exciting trip anyway.
I'm going to be WhatsApping you. I want to know.
And I think what we're going to try to do is, because the project is that we started the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu organization there, and the idea is that we're going to start to spread the Jiu-Jitsu in India. And I told my business partner there that, so what I want to do is I want to have one guy following me with camera all the 6 weeks. And that's why, if that's going to happen, and hopefully it will happen, so then I will make some kind of a vlog or something. I want to share my experiences and my journey.
You should, because we all want to see it.
Yeah,
that is like, I don't think jiu-jitsu is huge in India, so you're going to be one of the pioneers. Like, I'm sure they have some
they have, but still
you're going to be taking it to another level.
And 1.5 billion people. That's the biggest market in the world. And I'm excited about it, and also because I know that, like, controlling the product in the way, I cannot just go there and teach, we're going to do whatever. There needs to be a systematic way, especially from white to blue belt. We're going to have a blueprint system. You're going to have 7 main positions. You're going to have a top and bottom, and I need to control the process. And I'm excited about it, because I'm polished my teaching quite a long time. So now I feel like, and let's say 2 years ago, I wouldn't be ready to this caliber project. Like in my mind, like I'm not sure if I'm ready, but now I'm like, now you're bring it on. But I'm excited about it, and it's going to be actually the guy who I'm working there, Mehul. All the best for you. Mehul actually told me that he met a purple belt, but that's it. That's the level. He met once a purple belt, but every other persons are white belts and beginners. So, but the good thing is that,
so having a black belt fly in is.
It's a big thing, and they told me, like, there's banderoles of my faces in the places, and they're like, Mikko, it's gonna be a big thing. But I'm excited about it because I love teaching jiu-jitsu, and I
think
know
you've got the right person. Like, you're a great teacher. I mean, I see what you've done to our gym here, and you're super passionate, and I think that counts for a lot. Like, sometimes. I mean, we've had world champions come, and they can't explain what they do. They're just like, just like step here and go. And like, what do you mean go? Like,
exactly. And it doesn't correlate. Same like if you're a football teacher, football coach, like in jiu-jitsu, it doesn't. If you're a world champion, you are great in jiu-jitsu, but it doesn't tell anything about your skills, how you can teach it, how you can. Because I think the most important thing, especially when you teach beginners, is how you engage with the persons. Like I'm really hands on that, and I really want you to learn. So that's why, like, I create connection with all the students, and that's my passion. So I think it's going to be good, and what a project. I'm excited about it.
I think it's amazing, and especially at the beginner level, it means actually a lot more, because that's where you hook them. Right?
If they get excited, they're going to stick to it. And now we have like judo black belts. We have 100 judo black belts there waiting. So I need to teach them, and I'm going to start probably with them. And my goal is to make them blue belts. Like, hopefully they have randori a little bit. So
it's different, for like teaching judokas jiu-jitsu. It is different.
And I'm going to also teach like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu white belts, and these guys are going to be white belts. But the idea is because we need to start from ground. So these judo guys are my main
like
thing in the
first.
Exactly, because that's going to be my first army. Like when they know my blueprint system, then I'm going to make them teach the blueprint system, because I have no choice. I cannot be every place. So they're going to start to teach the white belts only the curriculum what I taught them. And I said, the way how I teach stuff to you, that's what you're gonna pass on. So then I have then it starts to spread, because I cannot, if I need to wait, they need to be purple belts before they start to teach. We start from the ground, level.
I think it's amazing. I think not many people get to impact that many people.
And that's what makes it exciting. Like I can, change people's lives there, being there, and and I have many people say that I many times I exceed the expectations.
Ah,
if you
of
meet me
course.
first time, like you have a certain kind of, this guy must be, but usually I'm better than you expect when you meet me in live. So I think
No,
this
absolutely.
is
You're amazing, man.
This
You're
is
amazing.
this is exciting project. And I remember when we started this, when Mikko sent me a first message about this, like 1 year ago.
Yeah.
And I remember I got the email and I was a little bit like, what if we started this? And I started like, I immediately hit me like, this might be the biggest thing that I've ever done. Wow, the magnitude, and because there's so many people and there is such a massive opportunity to spread Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu there. I was so excited, and he was like, how would you do, what would be your idea, how would we spread Jiu-Jitsu in India?
Yeah.
I went to pool, I was like this, and then I did pen and paper, I was like, okay, empty black page. Then I was like, okay, what do we need? We need tatamis, places where we train, then we need students, then we need code, like the whole package. And I was like, wow, I can start from that, and that's what we're gonna go now execute. We're gonna start to do the project, and
So you think you're gonna probably have to go back multiple
I
times?
I just got my business visa, so I can go there 1 year, multiple entries.
Okay.
I can go back and forth. So now it's going to be the first one, and then I will go back and forth. But also understand that the magnitude of this kind of project is that if this is going to happen the way how I think it will be happen, there might be a possibility that I need to go there a little bit longer term, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
So maybe
That's normal.
one year or something like that, just because then I would teach them every single day.
Yeah.
And kind of made my way, how we think about jiu-jitsu and everything. I could really drill them in their heads, like how we teach, what we teach, why we teach it this way, and breaking things down, and just make them understand my jiu-jitsu, because I told them also, like, I'm not ready to lower any standards. I cannot do it. That's not gonna happen. Like we need to have the specific skill set, especially for the white belts to blue belt. Like you need to know, if I say you close guard bottom, show me 2 sweeps, you need to be able to do it. Like that's the base, what we need to have, and I need to make sure that I control that also, because I'm proud of jiu-jitsu.
Of course.
So I cannot have like, okay, we have now 600,000 blue belts there, but nobody knows anything. So we need to make sure that this is not an easy journey. Whatever you have trained before, this is probably going to be harder. And you need to understand the process. But I'm excited about it. But it's going to happen in a couple of weeks. I'm going to first fly to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. When do you actually?
22nd of November.
Awesome.
And actually, I think when we're gonna launch this, I will be actually in India.
So you'll stay in India over Christmas?
Over Christmas, and that was because I have been spending Christmas with my family last 4 or 5 years, because we created this new tradition, because I was away always, and because I fucked up my situation, I couldn't go in Finland and everything. But now when everything is good, this would be like year number 6. So my daughter was pretty upset. But I'm going to go Finland. I'm going to fly straight to Mumbai to Finland, 30th of December. So we're going to have a New Year's together. And I told her, like, this is the last time. But because they have also big holidays in India, so actually in Christmas Eve, I'm going to have a massive seminar in some kind of a half stadium or something. Like there's going to be thousands. There's going to be, I have microphones and everything. So because there's going to be so much people. I don't know, man. It's going to be.
That's insane.
It is. And I'm excited about it. And I had no idea about the culture. I don't know. But I go there.
I've never been
open-minded and very excited about it.
At the end of the day, people are people. This is one thing that I've learned. Foods might be different, languages might be different, but smiles are universal.
Exactly. And again, jiu-jitsu, and it's strange because, and imagine how big the place is, and jiu-jitsu is almost 20% of all of people in the world lives in India. Like
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's massive. Are you going to be focusing on gi or no?
Yeah, we're going to do only gi, because I asked them like what they want to, because
I think gi is actually good for beginners.
In the beginning, because there's a lot of judo guys and they train kudo also, which is like a little bit like Taekwondo and judo combination. So they all wear gis. So we're going to start with gi, and hopefully.
How are you going to supply the gis? Are you going to make it available, or you'll
probably now, because most of the students are already
you
training.
Want to keep the costs low.
Yeah. And now what we're going to do is probably we're going to we're gonna start to teach on the gyms where they already train judo and kudo, and we're gonna start for that. And then maybe with the organization, I'm not sure how we're gonna do. We provide the gis or the mats. This is now to be decided. Like I go there, and now this is the first trip there, so we're gonna see how everything is gonna, play along, and it's gonna be. I've been laughing so much because my mom was also like, oh. How is your stomach? Are your stomach ready already? Yeah, it's gonna be ready. But I have a great attitude, and I'm gonna be.
Just keep the cameraman on.
Exactly.
That's
because
all I want.
Can you imagine 6 weeks? I'm already like, I know this is gonna be epic material. 6 weeks in India, me, Mikko, and it's somebody, and because there is gonna be highs and lows. But that's people want to see also. I'm because I'm super honest. I'm brutally honest. Yeah. So also I will show like, when I'm not feeling good or whatever, and I would love to make some kind of vlog, or maybe we just also make like a series, like every other day I post like a, I don't know, 30 minutes episode, something like that.
No, it sounds like a great opportunity, and I think the country has selected the right jiu-jitsu ambassador.
Thank you. I'm excited about it, and it's really going to happen. So let's see. And actually, funny detail, because the mail sent me the confirmation about the flights. Yeah. They're like, okay, first I fly to Madrid, then I fly to Abu Dhabi and whatever, and then the last flight from Mumbai to Helsinki, there was a specific under the flight number. There was alcoholic drinks include the price. I was like, why then I was like, Finnish people, like why do you need to mention that in the confirmation?
Yeah.
So it was like, I was just like, that's the Finnish thing, because in Finland people like to drink, and back in the days, Finnair, the Finnish national company, so they had always like free drinks, and that was big thing for Finnish people. Like, okay, I'm gonna fly to whatever, and I can drink on the way. And I thought this is gone already. Like, this doesn't exist. But it really, it's there. The text alcoholic beverages includes the price. I was like, why do you need to tell me that? But then I was like, okay, I'm for Finland, but probably I will not drink anything, but I'm going to make sure that I tell the staff immediately when I go to the plane, oh, this is the place where the alcoholic drinks is free. I'm going to see their reaction, even though I don't drink, but it's going to be cool. Booze. What do you think, what is the tips for guys who has not trained jiu-jitsu? Because I know that there's a lot of people who follow me who doesn't train jiu-jitsu yet, but they would like to try. What are the tips for the guys who are thinking about going to their first training?
Do you know what? I think the best thing to do is don't think, just execute.
Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah.
And I normally think once folks learn the first rear naked choke or cross choke or armbar, those three things.
Yeah.
It's done. You're hooked. It's like you have a superpower, but this time the superpower is your own body. So I would say the best advice is go as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna hold a seminar someplace, everybody just look up where Mikko's going and just go.
Yep.
And then you can decide if you don't like it or take your time. Because you don't really know what it's like until you do it.
And then the kind of anxiety builds up. Like if you do like, I'm not sure, go today. Like just try it for the first class. Go. Done. Because then you will not regret it. If you don't like it, so be it. Yeah. Whatever it is, but then just rip the plaster off.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And I will say that obviously, my daughters train and have trained jiu-jitsu and taekwondo, but I think it's a wonderful form of camaraderie for men, and I think it's actually really good for men too. Just in terms of the contact, the resistance, the contact sports. There's, it's like you get to communicate with your friends without necessarily talking.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are lonely sometimes. This is probably the most we've ever spoken.
Yeah. Exactly like. Yeah.
But it's weird. Over the years, we have a friendship just from. Man, I remember right there whenever you put me to fucking sleep.
I need to tell that story.
I passed your guard, and I'm thinking, I got him now.
I remember your reaction. I think
I got up and I'm like,
I had the baseball grip, and you're like, I'm not going to pass this guy's guard, but I have my trick, so I was able to force the turn on. And when Andrew was waking up, first words were, That was amazing. Hopefully somebody got it on film.
Is that what I said?
Yeah. But what an amazing attitude, man.
Well, amazing attitude. I lost like probably 10% of my brain cells. Well, the thing is, I remember thinking, there's no fucking ways I'm going to like tap to this. So I just passed. And then, the weird thing is when you go to sleep with jiu-jitsu, it's actually quite pleasant.
Yeah, it is.
So it's not like a pain.
No.
You
wake up and...
You just feel like there's a tunnel closing, and then who knows? But yeah, right there.
Yeah, I remember. But you are so excited about it. Like hopefully somebody get it done on film.
Well, because it was well executed. Evidently. Well, I mean, what can I say? You got to be able to take the losses along with the wins. But yeah, I think it's great because you get to create these special moments and friendships. And in fairness, your life is also in your training partner's hands.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't let go, I'd be dead.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest.
That's why
you resigned me, and I've been in that position before where you've been with somebody and they're asleep, and it's like, oh crap, you got to help them.
Yeah.
So it's, I think people should just go. I think people should do it. The only regret that I actually have is that I didn't start sooner.
Same here. I remember when the first UFC came.
Yeah.
And like, let's say I watched it maybe 97 the first time. And I remember I started as a wrestler. I'm still, in my core, I'm a grappler.
Yeah.
I've always been. And I remember watching it, even though I've been doing wrestling, I was like, oh man, stand up. And I was like, why didn't I see it? Why didn't I stand this is my stuff.
Yeah.
But I was 17, so I was like, stupid young boy. But I was like, I have been thinking about why didn't I see it? In that moment, I was a grappler.
It blows your mind.
Yeah,
like,
it was maybe like too good to be true. I was like,
fighting off
what
your
is this smaller guy? How he can choke? Like I didn't understand it, and only thing started earlier. But we are, and the best day to start, guys, is today. It doesn't matter. We whenever you start, try it. And again, if you think about trying jiu-jitsu, try it. If it's for you, good. If it's not, then you know. But otherwise, if you don't ever try and you're always speculating in your mind, that's a waste of time.
All the
thoughts.
Don't think about the belts.
No.
This is something that I guess it's easy to say now that we're black belts, but the reality is just think about your personal journey of improvement and think about your ability to defend yourself and your loved ones. The belts sort of come as a consequence, but if you aim for the belt, you don't necessarily get there.
No, and you, because it's such a long term, like you cannot be focusing on belts, and I like to always say, like, remember that belts will follow your skill set, not the other way.
Yeah.
They're like, when you become good enough, don't stress about it. Belts will come, not the other way.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about it. Your job is just to, grow as a man, grow as a human being. And not only like we learn how to submit each other, but we also learn to be more humble, more respectful, and all the aspects in your life, it's going to get better if you train jiu-jitsu.
100%. Mikko, this has been a pleasure.
Thank you, my brother. I think this was a wrap.
No, man. You're a good friend, and I really appreciate this.
Thank you for coming, and I truly enjoyed this. And guys, go train, keep smiling, and remember, jiu-jitsu never dies. Baby! Boom!